welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura and today is Top 5 Wednesday. I'm pre-recording these so I have something to upload. The topic for June 3rd is favorite books so far. Since January I have read 53 books. Today is May 28th actually, and 53 books. It was hard. I have 12 books in my favorites, but I narrowed it down to 5 books and 1 is a series. So I'm gonna do it by not the way that I liked. I loved all these books. I'm gonna do it as middle grade, young adults. So I'm gonna start with middle grade and do it that way. So that my number 5 book would be a middle grade book, and I just recently read this one. It is a 4.3 reading level. It is Out of My Mind by Shannon M. Draper. I really enjoyed this one. This was about a girl who is in the 5th grade, so she's 11 years old and she has cerebral palsy and she has to deal with all that. This book, because I have 5th graders, my triplets are in 5th grade, this book really touched me, and I also work in a school, so I felt a lot during reading this book, and I actually cried 2 times while I was reading this book. So mostly books don't make me cry, but this one I was in tears twice during this book. So I put this on my top books of 2015. I read this year. So I really highly recommend it if you are into middle grade and you want to read a book about cerebral palsy. Okay, so the next book was number 4. Number 4 is a series. It's a series that I started on audio. I liked it so much. I read the first one, the second one, and the third one. I listened to them and I wound up buying the series because I liked it so much. The reading level is a 4.7, a 4.8, and a 4.7. And the series I'm talking about is the Selection series. So I wound up buying the whole series because I liked it so much. I listened to all 3 books on audio. And I listened in 1 month. I marathoned them. It was really good. I do not watch TV. I do not watch The Bachelor, but I really enjoyed these. It's great for young adult. There is a love story. There's a love triangle in it, but it is very geared towards middle grade, and I highly recommend my girls read this. There is no sexual content in it, which is why I liked it a lot. That's why I purchased it for my girls to read. So as you can tell, I have my reading levels here, stickers on these books. So, and I did buy the 4th book, which is The Air, that just came out. I haven't read that one yet, but I really like this one, and I added these books to my collection. So very good story if you like something that doesn't have sexual content in it, and it is a love story, and it was really good. So I highly enjoyed it, and I wanted my kids to read it, so I picked up this. Okay, the next book, book number 3. Okay, book number 3 is a young adult book. I recently read this for Read with Friends, and this one is a 5.3 reading level. And I really don't judge a book by its cover, because the cover looks awful, and I probably would not have read this if the book club didn't pick this to read. And the book I'm talking about is Winger by Andrew Smith. I don't like the cover at all, but the story was really good. I enjoyed it. It's about bullying. It's about a 14-year-old boy who goes to boarding school, and I really enjoyed the story, and there is going to be a part 2 in September, so I highly picked this book up. Again, don't judge the book by the cover. The story was pretty good, so this was on my top. It made my top favorites of 2015. Okay, the next 2 books are adult books. So I wanted to try out a new author, and the next book I wanted to try out, Deborah Rainey is the name of the author, and I really enjoyed this book, and I liked it so much that I was in school and I was telling my some of the teachers, you have to read this book. It was really good. I couldn't put it down. The name of the book was A Vow to Cherish, and this one is about Alzheimer's, and I really like Alzheimer's books. This was about a woman who gets Alzheimer's at the age of 50. So, and then she has to deal with, the husband has to deal with the progress of her losing her memory, and it was really touching, and I think I did cry during this one as well, and I really enjoyed it. And after I read this one, I started collecting Deborah Rainey's books. So I really enjoyed this one. I don't own this book. This one I took out from the library. So it's called A Vow to Cherish. So, and it's an adult book. Okay, the last book that I like to talk about, and I'm sure I've said this before, this is a book that I got on my Kindle for February. Amazon Prime member, I was able to pick it for free because it's the first reads. You get to pick one book. There's 4 books and you get to pick one, and this is the one I chose, and I really enjoyed it. This is a book that you think about after you read it, and I posted a video, and the author actually contacted me, and she emailed me, and she asked me for my address, and she actually mailed me the book with a signed copy. So, and I've hauled this before, so I'm sure you're probably going to say, oh, I saw that book before. It's called Wreckage by Emily Bleeker. This is like my #1 book so far. Every time I think of something, I think of this book. I don't know why. It's about a plane crash. A guy and a girl, 2 separate families. They go on a plane crash, and this book is told. It was a little. I really don't like books that confuse me, but this one wasn't that confusing. It does. There's 2 different timelines. So one timeline is when they're on the island, and one timeline was when they get rescued. So they're on, they're being interviewed, saying what happened. So while they're saying what happened, they are lying. So I'm trying not to spoil anything. So, but I really enjoyed this one. I did not see the ending at all. And it was a shocker, and this was Emily Bleeker's very first book that she published, and I highly recommend you pick it up if you want to read. It has adventure in it. There is sexual content, so this is an adult book. There is sexual content in this one, but it makes you think afterwards, like what would you do if you were in their position? Would you lie? Would you do what they did? So it's really interesting. So anyway, I highly recommend you pick this book up. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye!